Hello, hello. Let's see if this works. Still not used to StreamYard. And I have already been practicing this morning. I'm Angela of Meet Me on My Mat. And I'm here at my home in my studio. I've already shared a practice this morning and done my own practice. So I just wanted to come on today and share a little bit with you maybe some simple strategies that you can use or simple movements that you can do at your desk or just any time in your day. But first, and I wasn't sure I was going to do this, but really what I want to share with you is if you really know and understand what's happening with community CEOs. Hopefully you've seen the posts. I can't even tell if anybody's here. If you are here, leave a comment. Hopefully I will know that you are here. Hopefully you saw some posts yesterday, those of us that are local in Virginia. So I'm in Bristow, Virginia. Some are in Manassas. We were out in Middletown yesterday, Front Royal. We have some members in Woodbridge area. But then we also have members that are all around the world. And so we have a member who's in the UK, one in Florida. So wherever you are, Maryland, we have a few. And so wherever you are, you can be a community CEO. Those of us that are local here got together yesterday. And so I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what it's like to be a community CEO and why you might want to do that before I do some yoga. Because I just keep thinking about what a nice group of people this is, and that we are all so different. But we support each other in such a beautiful way. Hi, Vicki. I just saw your little message. So community CEOs, if you have been seeing yesterday, we went to Front Royal. We had a little, what I call a chai date. And so some conversation, some networking and ways to support each other. And then we went over to one of our members' homes and got to share that space and that time with each other. We did a donation. We did a collection and a donation of supplies for an animal shelter in the Winchester area. And then we all went to dinner together. So those are all opportunities. None of it is required, but every time I'm with that group, I learn something new. I get to know somebody a little bit better. And I just encourage you, if you do have questions, to reach out to somebody who is a community CEO and ask your questions, because it's a really nice group of people. And we would love for you to join us. We also have lots of trainings that we do. Wednesday nights is usually when we meet, and we meet virtually. Sometimes it's what we call a mastermind. And so a community CEO can bring to the table, be at the center of the circle and say, this is what I'm dealing with in my business. This is the idea I have, or maybe the struggle that I'm having. And we do a brainstorming session to support each other. Sometimes it's that, but other times we've learned about using IG stories, and Alignable is another great system for getting connected with people. And we've learned how to use Alignable. We've learned about fundraising. And so any member that has a skill or, some knowledge to share can just present that. And then we invite you all to be a part of that. So there's nothing exclusive here. Everybody's invited. We'd love for you to be a part of it. My part in it is that hi Charlie, I see you there. My part in community CEOs is that I do a lot of support, and I try to go to any events that I can, show up and support other community CEOs and other businesses in the community. But I also offer what we call CEO Flow, and that is on Thursday evenings, usually on Thursday evenings. This week it will be, I haven't even really quite decided, but I think it'll be Tuesday night so that we don't have to miss that live opportunity. But I just do a 30-minute exploration with yoga with the members of community CEOs. And so they get an opportunity as part of membership to have this 30-minute yoga session. And so that I love that, and ask their questions and all kinds of things. And then of course we always have our events once a month. This month, on the first Saturday of September, we will be live in Bristow, but we also will have the 24-hour access virtually, and then we'll be in our community room virtually in the evening that day. So there are so many ways for you to join us, and really just come check it out. And but I'm not going to try to sell you on it. I just know it's you won't regret it. So come join us. And then in terms of the yoga part for today, if you have questions about yoga and you're here and you want to just jot down a question, you say, I don't really think yoga is for me, or whatever it is, or what is it, what if I can't do a pose the way that somebody else does, whatever your question is. But my message to everyone is that yoga is for everyone. And it is not your job to figure out how to make the yoga that you don't yet know, to adapt that for you. It's my job to share with you some strategies and then help you to figure that out. So I would never ask you to blindly come on in and do a pose in this exact way. Everybody does poses differently. Everybody does sequences differently. And there are lots of ways to do yoga. It's not all poses. It's breath, it's meditation, it is the way that we are in community, treating each other, the way that we treat ourselves. There's so much more to yoga than just getting on a mat. So if being on a mat doesn't feel right to you, or you feel a little intimidated, you have questions, you can ask those questions, but you can also explore all the other ways that yoga can be a part of your life. Today, I'm just going to show you, I think I'm going to get up from my desk, and I'm not going to, stay on for 30 minutes. I have 30 minutes if people want to chat, but I just want to show you some simple things you might do, and you can do them at your desk. I'm going to do them standing. These are things that at a desk, just every maybe 30 minutes, do a few little movements so that you're not getting stuck there. And so I'm going to come to a mountain pose. My feet are about hip width apart, and I have a little bend in my knees so that I'm not overextending. And I'm just feeling my feet on the ground here, rocking back and forth, toes to heels, and maybe even side to side a little. And then once I feel like I've got my grounding, I'll come to stillness and be in what we call a mountain pose. And so your mountain pose could be with your feet just below your hips. If this doesn't feel comfortable for you, you could widen the stance a little bit. I'm going to bring mine right under my hips today and just show you some simple ways to breathe and move. When you inhale, the belly fills. It makes sense. You're bringing air in. And so the belly fills on the inhale, and it empties on the exhale. The belly button comes toward the spine. And so first, just notice, is this the way you're breathing? And do you feel your breath in and out? Maybe you feel it up and down. We talked in one of our CEO flows about the breath feeling like an elevator, or the breath feeling like a balloon, or the breath feeling like an umbrella opening and closing. And there's no right or wrong. It's just how you feel it at this time today, as long as you're breathing. And on an inhale, reach the arms up. Again, you can do it from a desk. Turn the gaze up. And then on an exhale, bring the arms down and let the gaze come down. Keep the arms down. On an inhale, lift the gaze. It's going to feel different. And on an exhale, bring the gaze back to neutral and hands to heart center. Now, you could do this any way. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down, gaze down. If the gazing, adding that on doesn't feel great, maybe just do the arms. If the arms don't feel great, maybe just do the gazing Keep the arms down, turn the gaze up. Notice where you feel a stretch differently. Exhale, neutral gaze, and hands to heart center. And so I'll do it one more time. Inhale, gaze up, arms up. Exhale, gaze down, arms down. Inhale, gaze up, arms down. Exhale, gaze neutral, and hands at heart center. Maybe try that at your desk, maybe try that in the middle of the day. There are some other things, very simple, that you can do. I do suggest that if you are at a desk a lot, that you don't sit for too long. And so there are things you can do from your chair. I'm going to pull a chair over. And here, in a chair, I don't suggest forward folding too much from the chair. You could do a little lean in, so my feet are flat on the mat. You could even just press the feet into the ground and notice how it changes your posture. When you're paying attention, when you're breathing, it's yoga. You don't have to do something fancy. And so I can just tell when I press my feet into the ground, my spine lengthens, I open up more space for my breath, and then I could release. And so press the feet into the ground. Notice the length in the spine. Maybe lift the heart. Maybe lift the gaze without lifting the chin. And then release. And we'll do that again. Press into the feet. Turn the gaze up, lift the heart. Notice when you lift the heart, you might feel the shoulders widen. You might feel the shoulder blades coming together behind you. And then release. So it's that paying attention. And then give yourself any movement that you would need. Again, you could do this from the desk. You could also do this part standing, or if you were lying on your back with your feet flat on the mat, so your legs bent. Another great way to just do this pressing. Then notice, if you are seated, what it feels like if you just press the seat. So press your rear into your seat a little more. And just notice how that feels, and then release. Another thing is to start to experiment with putting something under your seat or behind your back. And notice if that gives you some more length in your spine or opens up more space for your breath. And see if you can wiggle the toes even with the feet pressing into the ground. And so again, just something really simple you can do. I'm going to show you something else standing that you can do. And it's the same thing with arms here. So if we take our arms up, so sometimes I do them here out this way, and sometimes it feels really good to bring them straight up. Inhale so that we're like an I. And then exhale, bring it like a Y. I'm saying the inhale and exhale just to remind you to continue to breathe. You can breathe any way that you like. Just pay attention that you're not holding your breath. And then try arms like a T. And here when the arms are like a T, you can have the palms facing down, but maybe your yoga is that you're turning the palms up and lifting the heart, lifting the gaze, turning the palms down and turning the gaze down, letting the shoulders relax. And so maybe this is nice for just a gentle movement in the middle of the day. And then you can also bring the elbows in toward the body. Keep the hands extended. You can see my palms are wide, my fingers are wide. Lift the heart. Notice how this would feel different. And then, of course, coming down to mountain. And so you could do that again. It's like an I. like a Y, like a T, like a W. And again, shifting the gaze if you'd like, or just concentrating on the arms. And then back to mountain. I'll show you one more thing. I'm doing lots of little things today. Okay, so I need yoga after this morning's workout, so happy for recording. We're just doing a little bit today. I don't know who that was, but we're just doing a teeny bit. If you want to do a practice, you can find me at meetmeonmymat.org, Meet Me on My Mat on Instagram, Meet Me on My Mat here on Facebook, and I'm also one of the community CEOs, so I'm pretty easy to find. So what was the other thing I was going to show you? There was something that I was going to show you. And I don't remember what it was, but I'm going to show you this one. So one other simple thing is just to do some heel pumps. I'm going to turn to the side. And so coming up on the right toes, lifting the right heel, and then switching. Right heel goes down, left heel comes up. And then you could do arms to add here. Now, if this feels really good, really safe, comfortable, easy, you might start to come up on both toes, and so I'll show you here. Inhale, arms up, come up on the toes, reach. Hold if you can. Exhale, arms down, heels down. And I like to bend my knees here. I sometimes even come into a little bit of a chair. And so then I come back around, inhale, arms up on my toes, reach. Exhale, heels down. And then I love to come around to this chair. And so you might even do that a few times. Now, if this doesn't feel great for you, you could do one side and then the other. There also, anything that's on a mat, you could do with the support of a chair. And so if you need some ideas for that, I'm happy to share those with you. And then just that rocking back and forth, I'm going to take a look at the time. Few little strategies, a few little movements here. We're at 12:17, so I can still show you a few more things. Okay. So let's come to the chair again. If you are in a chair, because I'm not sure when you're watching, are you sitting at your desk or do you have a yoga mat rolled out? All the yoga that I do is very functional. There's a purpose behind it. It's never about how it looks. It's always about how it feels. And anybody can do it. And so in your seat, one of the things I didn't say last time, check when you're sitting at your desk chair or when you're sitting anywhere, can your feet be flat on the ground? And I have to scoot up in my chair a lot. I'm pretty short. And so I have to scoot up in my chair in order for my feet to be flat. Otherwise, I need support behind. And then if I come all the way back, then I need to put blocks or a pillow under my feet so that they can still have that stability and grounding. But if we're here, lengthen through the spine, lift the heart. And I'm actually going to have to come back a little bit for this one. I'm just going to encourage you to press into the left foot and lift the right ankle so that it is above that left knee. And just notice how it feels there in that right hip. You might do a gentle press on the right knee, but the important thing here is that you feel that foundation of your seat, feel the foundation of your feet, so the feet and the seat, that you lengthen all the way up through the crown, and that you continue with full breath. If you feel like I'm focusing so much on this shape that I've lost track of my breath or I've stopped breathing consciously, then just release a little bit of the hold that you have in this shape. And so the shape might look like this. You might point or flex your foot. One might feel better than the other. You might have some motion there. You might do a little gentle press. You might not. It might feel better for you to hug a knee in. And that is also totally fine. Maybe you feel better with your feet flat on the ground, and maybe you cross here at the ankles and sit, push through the seat, push through the left foot, lengthen through the spine, lift the heart, and breathe. And then when you're ready, just release the right and see how it feels to have those feet on the ground again. Have you maintained the length in your spine? Have you kept your heart lifted? Are you still breathing comfortably? And then maybe try the other side. And it might feel different on the two sides. It likely will. That's okay. And here again, you might do a little press here. You might point or flex the foot. You might even lean in a little bit, keeping the length in your spine. Breathe. If you have lost track of your breathing, just back up a little bit. So I folded, and then when I talked about breath, I paid attention to what I'm doing. I don't want to be squeezing all the air out and not letting myself be capable of a full breath, so I could maybe back off a little bit. Push through the right foot, push through the seat. Notice how that changes the posture. Lift the heart. Notice how that changes things. Maybe lift the gaze without lifting the chin. See if that changes anything. And then when you've had enough, just release. So those are some simple things. Some standing, some seated. Let me see if there are questions. Hello, Nicole. If there is anything else that I can do to be helpful, I do work with lots of people of all ages, all shapes, all sizes, all abilities and challenges, and I would be happy to share some yoga with you. Again, if you have questions about community CEOs, we do these takeovers. We have lots of other things that we do. And also, hopefully you're seeing one of our community CEOs have this great idea to do a day in the life of a CEO. So we're trying each day to give an opportunity for each of the members to share a little bit about their life so that you can see and we can connect in ways that are beyond what we do as our business. But you can see that we're doing business within our lives. And so we do have a lineup this week, and we'll do another, we have 5 days this week, 5 days next week, where we'll continue to share a day in the life of a community CEO. Anything else? Let's see, pay attention to breath. There's no really right or wrong way to do it. Just pay attention to it. And enjoy your day. I think I'm finishing a few minutes early. I'm going to hang on in case anybody does have a question. And I actually was just interviewed for a podcast, so if you want to check that out, that was the Patterson Park podcast. And I spoke a lot about the benefits of the past year and the opportunity to slow down and strip away those things that maybe weren't serving us. And so as we begin to come back into full activity, especially with the school year starting, being mindful, again, this is yoga, being mindful of those things that serve us, that really are a part of who we are, and those things that we feel we might be doing out of obligation rather than an opportunity that we would love to participate in. So as you get busy, as you have more opportunities, I encourage you to take a moment of stillness and maybe get grounded, press your feet in, press your seat in, notice the length in your spine, notice your breath as you consider whatever opportunity comes your way, and see, is this is this really where I want to be, what I want to be doing, who I want to be with? And if it's not, it's okay to let it go. I wish you all a great day, a great week. Please reach out, ask questions, and know that yoga is for you too. Thank you.